radio show. Spending the last few minutes with Evan Roth-Smith, co-author of the book Putins Master Plan. So, Evan, what does President Trump do then regarding Vladimir Putin? I mean, does he kind of take a hard approach with it? So far it appears that he wants to try to have a warmer relationship with Vladimir Putin. So I don't know, what do you think? How does he manage it?
Well, I think everyone wants America and Russia to have a warmer relationship. Of course, no one wants war between the United States and Russia, least of all Vladimir Putin, who knows he wouldn't stand a terrific chance in that war. But the only thing Putin really respects is strength. And when we project weakness and when we act weakly around the world, as we have for the last 8 years, Putin doesn't view us as a friend. He doesn't view us as an enemy. He views us as an inconvenience. And he swats us away wherever he can, and he pushes the envelope with things like, Russian military jets buzzing and American naval warships, or Russian nuclear-capable bombers going into the airspace of the United Kingdom. And the only way to get him to stop doing that and to lay the groundwork for potentially improving relations is to show a little bit of strength and to say, listen, there are limits to your behaviors. You can't go around just starting wars. You can't go around killing innocent people. America has allies. America has interests. America has values, and we're going to stand up for them. And when we do that, and when we project that kind of strength, and hopefully President Trump will project that kind of strength, then we can start talking about better relations, better friendship with Russia. But until then, Putin will keep treating us the way he treats us.
All right. Now, and I tend to agree with you. I think that Trump will exercise that kind of strength because you're right. Ultimately, you got to make a decision to take action. What Barack Obama did was he talked tough. He's like, don't go in any further into the Ukraine. Well, he did anyway. Okay, well, he told Assad, you better not use chemical weapons. Here's my red line. Well, everybody laughed that off. Okay, so Barack Obama said things that no one's paid attention to. Trump, I think, will say things that people will pay attention to. But let's say that let's say Putin tests Trump, and I anticipate that Putin probably will test him. It's like, all right, let's see if this guy folds like Obama did. So what's Trump going to do? Does he establish a no-fly zone in Syria, and then when Putin violates the no-fly zone, does Trump actually give the order to shoot down one of Russia's jets? Because, hey, you violated the no-fly zone, we mean business.
Well, I think, what you just described, that scenario, it's such a dangerous one, it's such a risky one, that when we start to project this kind of power, when we want to see what we can do to push back against Putin, we probably don't want to start in Syria. Because of pretty high stakes, and
So where is a good safe place then that Trump could flex his muscles in a way that Barack Obama did not? That's not as severe as shooting down one of their jets.
Well, I would say you start with Europe, you start with NATO, and you finish the NATO missile shield. The one that Obama backed away from after the 2012 elections, the one that our NATO allies are begging us to finish, countries like Poland and the Czech Republic. The NATO missile shield protects Europe and protects America from Russian and Iranian missile attacks. And it'd be a great first test for Trump. He could go and say, listen, we're going to finish the missile shield that Obama committed to finish, and you, Europe, our European NATO allies, are going to pay the fair share of NATO costs that you have refused to pay in order to finish it. So it's a win-win. America comes to the table with a solution, Europe comes to the table with renewed commitment, and we secure the alliance there, and we see what Putin does about a newly strong NATO and about American commitment to security in Europe.
Okay, but what does Trump do with Putin's provocative moves? Because Putin's going to respond by, buzzing our ships and doing things like that. Again, do we just ignore that like a mosquito, or do we respond?
Well, I think we have to ratchet up the sanction program, and we also have to start going at the soft underbelly of Russian power in Europe, which is oil and natural gas. Europe is addicted to Russian oil and natural gas. They can't break it. And until they do, the sanctions that we have will be totally ineffective. So the way we do that is sell them American oil and natural gas. We only just made it legal for the United States to export natural gas not even a year ago. And so we need to do a lot more, because if the Europeans suddenly start buying all of their oil, their heating oil, their gas for their cars, all that sort of thing, from the United States instead of Russia, Putin's just going to have no money left. And so when he sends a jet to buzz an American naval warship, we can send a fleet of tankers across the Atlantic and say, listen, you just lost, a couple $1 billion on that little joke you played, and see how he likes that.
All right. Folks, look for the book. Again, it's entitled Putin's Master Plan. It's from Doug Schoen and Evan Roth-Smith. And, Evan, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me on, Bob.
You bet. Take care now. You're listening to The Bob Duco Show.